Hey guys, welcome back to another week of fundamental analysis. I've got quite a lot to go through today. I do apologize for last week not uploading a video. I still managed to trade myself and I have got in some trades as well. But let's just jump into the fundamental analysis for the 10th of March to the 16th of March. As always guys, just a friendly reminder that this is not financial advice. Please do your own research and make your own informed decisions. This is merely my take on the financial markets. Okay, so COT reporting. Quite an interesting week for COT. We've got bullishness or an increased bias change into the dollar again. The dollar was looking quite bearish for the last couple of weeks, but now, at least according to the COT report, we've got some bullishness, some buying into that. Yen still bullish, just a bit lower than the USD. Oil, silver still bullish as well, but you guys can see that gold, which is what I trade, is slightly negative this week, and Aussie is slightly negative this week as well. Now, in terms of the economic data, we did have a lot of prints for the CPI and PPI, so the inflation story for the USD. We also had JOLTS job openings, which was neutral. So still labour market, at least NFP for this month was quite bearish, not doing too well. And also inflation, we had really bearish readings. So I'm actually meant to change that to, if we quickly go on my data sheets. So I'm just going to change those colours to red. Right, because they're not meant to be green. So you guys can see there's quite a bit of a shift now from last readings that were very green, very bullish, and now we have inflation coming down, which is honestly a good thing. It's what the dollar needed. It needed the rates to do its thing and bring down inflation, which is currently doing. The economic data is currently neutral right now. And the labor market's obviously bearish. So right now, in terms of USD, I probably on the sidelines for this one, if anything, quite bearish on this one still, despite the COT data being bullish for this week. Aussie, we're quite actually bullish, no change. We've just got Westpac consumer confidence, which was a big jump up from last reading, just sort of indicating that people in Australia are starting to pick up in terms of have a brighter outlook on the future. The inflation story is coming down slowly as our rates were kept steady at 4.35. They had a rate cut, and hopefully we can cut even more rates now slowly over time to stimulate the Australian economy. But we're doing quite well right now from what I see, which is good. Something to take note. Definitely will be biased towards the Aussie for this point in time right now. The yen actually took a big hit this week. Had final GDP being lower than expected. Just keeping in mind that this is final and not preliminary, so not that big of an impact compared to preliminary, but still, not warranted, not wanted from the forecast. Again, that should be black, my apologies. Average cash earnings was revised down, plus lower than expected, and household earnings was very, very forecasted quite high. The actual prints were very, very cool. PPI was neutral. Man, I keep forgetting to change these actual colors, so my apologies. PPI neutral, that was bearish. Yeah, so bit of shakiness in the yen right now, so just something to note. I will be on the sidelines for the yen. I was very bullish before, but now I'm definitely cautious right now for that trade. In terms of the actual charts, we said inflation's coming down. We have rates, the sort of higher rates in the past, higher interest rates in the past doing its job now, this is what you want to see. You want to see inflation coming down. PPI, same thing, as a producer price index coming down, which is our story of that inflation being curbed. We have one more, which is JOLTS, and not really too much to comment on. It's sort of JOLTS is a rhythmic sort of consolidation if I had a look at this chart. The biggest one I'd comment on is NFP, which is a drop down, and unemployment rate, which is a tick higher. So just something to note. In terms of this week's data, we were speaking about inflation coming down, but just a reminder, especially with Trump speaking so often now, is that there are uncertainty with the tariffs that he's going to put in hold. Essentially, theoretically, if we think about it, if we're increasing tariffs, we're not products, especially in the US, because they're keeping things in-house, they're going to start becoming more expensive as they can't, people are less likely or less willing to export goods to them. If things become more expensive for them, we have this whole inflation coming up again, and that will lead to less spending because things are more expensive. That will lead to a poorer economy and essentially, a weakening of the dollar if that does happen. But just keeping in mind that this is all theoretical. We don't work with theory, at least when we're trading, we don't work based off theories. We will wait for the actual data, for the economic data to come out, and we will trade accordingly. So this is all theoretical. Inflation prints this week are cooler than expected, which is good, as a potential rate cut may be coming. Again, we're just working with the numbers that we have, but we're keeping this in the back of our mind. Next week's data, we have rates and FOMC, which is, I'm going to wait to hear what they have to say about everything. We have employment for Aussie as well. So if we've got a better than expected employment change and rate for Aussie, I'm still very bullish on it. And what else do we have? Retail sales for USD. So if we look at it from our data here, we have economic reading for retail sales, which is going to really retail sales, which might give us an indication on if this economic reading here can sort of shift into bullishness or bearishness. We'll see. And Aussie, we have, what did we say? We have labor market. So if the labor market can still be bullish, continue bullish, I'll be happy to trade this long, essentially. So in terms of our bias this week, we had gold. COT was bearish for gold. We have economic news, which is bullish, because now we have a decrease in US inflation, which is, plus why I put it as neutral is because basically we have concept of stagflation, which is, sticky inflation with uncertainty in the market. That's bullish for gold, but also a rate cut is bullish for gold, as we want to start, having money free, essentially. So I'd count, gold's still bullish for sure. We still have neutral US economic data, which is very, very bullish for gold. We have bearish US labor market, sort of causing that uncertainty again, bullish for gold. I'm still very bullish on gold right now. So long trades are available if the setup presents. In terms of silver, we have bullish COT silver, which is a good thing. Economic news is neutral. I've put in neutral, and bias is neutral as well as a result. So basically we've got decreasing US inflation, which again should be positive for silver, but we have a neutral US economic data. So people aren't spending, people aren't manufacturing, people aren't using silver as much. And also as a result, bearish US labor market is, if we think in labor market as economic activity as well, with more people being hired for manufacturing jobs, that's not good for silver. So no trades. US 30, we are neutral as well, no trades on that. AU we have bearish, so COT was favoring USD, but in terms of economic data currently very favored towards Aussie. My bias is bullish, so I can potentially take long trades if the setup presents. UJ, quite neutral on USD and JPY. I'm going to stay on the sidelines. And AJ, we have bullishness in Aussie, neutral in JPY, but the COT reporting and the trend being quite bullish for yen in the past. I'm just rather stay on the sidelines. So this week I'll only potentially look at gold and AU. Everything else I'll be on the sides for. However, keeping in mind, guys, I am in 2 trades already. So this is potential. I am in a gold trade, which is good. I'm also in a UJ trade, which currently with the new data right now that's came out, the the economic news, it's not really favoring that, but we've calculated the risk. We're happy to put that 1% in as risk. So if we jump on the charts, let's have a look at what we're doing for the charts. So you can see the dollar index coming down, pumping down, the yen index actually consolidating, and that's the sort of, it comes exactly in line with the economic news, right? We have uncertainty now in the yen, economic readings not that great, even the labor market's not that great, and we start having this sideways motion now. So we're sort of uncertain about the yen now. We don't have that clear path to the upside. AJ, I'll get rid of, let me just get rid of that. AJ, we said we're going to stay on the sidelines for now. Price is consolidating as well. So if we were to just put a rectangle here for consolidation, we'll rather just stay on the sidelines. There's no point, right? No point in trading something you don't know. AU, we said potentials. AU right now, in terms of from a 4-hour, is consolidating. If it does come down to this area here, which I like because it did reject off here, I wouldn't mind getting in a position for AU, right? AU has some nice potential, some nice upside risk to reward, especially having that very, very long run, 130 days to the downside. We might pick back up, but like I said, I'm in 2 trades, so we're probably not going to put any more risk on the table. UJ, we are in a UJ trade right now. Basically on the 4-hour, we did have a breaker structure here. We actually took this trade on a daily setup. So with this rejection wick here, retesting this beautiful zone here. I really like this zone that got broken. Yeah, we entered our trade on this daily candle here, and we've put our risk on previous structure, which is above here. So we'll see how that plays out. That's just a trade we're in right now. US 30, we said we're standing on the sidelines here. You can see it's coming down from all-time highs, down 9%. For US 30, I think if we start getting some good economic news again, we start getting rate cuts. We have these 2 areas here quite nice. I would love to see like a beautiful rejection wick here, sort of similar to that. And if that does happen and we do get a nice entry into there, I mean, the potential risk reward that we have is quite nice. So that's something to consider. US 30. Gold, we are in a gold position right now. So this is the daily. It has broken resistance, so now that's support. You guys can see we got in on a 4-hourly big engulfing candle there on this zone here. I like the whole concept of this price being uncertain, a big push up from this zone here. We got into this trade. We are trailing, put our stop loss here. We have taken profits at around this area here, just before the 3,000 mark, just because that might be a psychological level that might pump back down. So got in half position out at $3,000, secured 1.5R right now. We've trailed here. What I'm hoping to see with gold is, if I'm expecting it to pump up higher, I'm expecting it to actually consolidate a bit more, maybe dip down here and come back up. It might take my stop out, it might not, but if it doesn't and we're able to pump up from here, I will definitely move my stop here. And I see a very big upside for gold because we're at all-time highs essentially. So Very good, very good position for gold. Silver, same thing, we pumped up out of all-time highs. We are neutral on silver, so we're not worrying about that. So really at the end of the day, I'm keeping my trades in UJ and gold. I am waiting for potential setups on AU. If it does reach down here into this support area here, and as a result, we can potentially get in AU if this UJ trade doesn't work out and we get stopped out. So that's it for this week, guys. I will catch you on the next video. I'm going to do a wrap-up summary for my Feb 2025, and yeah, catch you on the next one. Peace.